Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by the channel. Sorry it's taken me so long to make this video. I apologize. This week actually marks 1 year exactly since I flew to Tijuana to have mesenchymal stem cell treatments done on my back, my shoulders, and my elbow. And now it's time for the raw, unfiltered truth. Did it work? Would I do it again? And was it worth the trip? Let's find out. But first, let's roll the 1 year montage. First, a little backstory. For those of you who haven't seen the first video, I would recommend watching it now. I'll put a link up here. Why did I choose mesenchymal stem cells in the first place? The answer is quite simple. I dealt with chronic back and shoulder pain for over 20 years. And during that time, I tried every kind of epidural, physical therapy, electrostim, snake oil potion that there is. The last two very prominent LA back surgeons that I saw both told me different things. One of them told me that I didn't have a problem with my back, and the other one wanted to fuse me in 2 spots. I was just at the end of my rope. And I had been researching stem cell therapy for a long time. I narrowed it down to CPI in Tijuana. It just felt to me like CPI had the best track record. I knew athletes that had been there, and they had great results. So I reached out to CPI and spoke with the team there, and they thought that they could really improve the quality of my life with some stem cell treatment. So I went to Tijuana and spent a week at the CPI hospital. I had a team of doctors come up with a plan that they thought would be the best for me. I did a total of 170 million stem cells altogether. 60 million of them went in my lumbar spine. I had my L2, L3 facets done, L3, L4 facets done, my L4, L5 disc and facets, L5 and S1 disc and facets also. I did 20 million in my SI joints, and then my right shoulder I did 20 million, my left shoulder I did 20 million, and 10 million in my right elbow, and then I had 40 million additional stem cells done intravenously. A couple of days before the procedure, they run a bunch of blood tests on you, and you do basically blood doping for a day, ozone injections, Myers cocktail injections, and some other things. I don't even know what they were. But basically prepping your body for the stem cells. So I had the procedure done. I had 14 different injections in my back. The procedure itself didn't really hurt that much. I was really sore for like a day after, but that goes away within, I would say, 2 or 3 days. I was walking around fine. I had some stiffness in my back for a week or so. My shoulders were sore. I started some light rehab after a couple of weeks, and I was walking around. Actually, I went to London after 2 weeks. I was walking around all over London carefully, but I was able to get around without much pain, just stiffness. My shoulders at that point had already started to feel much better. It was mostly just stiffness, and my back felt quite fragile. They really drill it into you how important it is to stick with the protocol. That's probably the most challenging thing that you deal with going through this whole episode is not training. And you got to be really careful with it for the first 3 months. You can't lift anything too heavy. For obvious reasons, they really want the stem cells to settle in and start to grow. They don't want you lifting any heavy weights because you'll actually squish the stem cells out of the joint. So after about 6 weeks, I started going to the gym and swimming and just doing light stretching, just kind of really light weight training. I got through the 6 weeks without much progress, but I was able at that point to start training. And then it felt like I started to recover a lot quicker once I was able to get to the gym. One of the problems I had with my back was I had numbness in my toes. 4 of my toes were 9 out of 10, 10 being completely numb. Before the procedure, my toes were at about a 9 in numbness. And at the 3-month mark, they were probably at about a 7. However, my shoulders at the 3-month mark were feeling really strong. I mean, I was in the gym doing military press, not heavy military press, but over the head, no problems. And at week 14, I had to go out on the road for 3 months to play 30 shows. I did the tour without any problems, smashing drums for 2.5 hours through that whole time, I didn't have one flare-up. I had a couple little mini tweaks, but no actual flare-ups, and I was able to get through the tour without any problems. I didn't make so much progress on my back throughout that 3 months that I was on tour, but I guess it's understandable. I was beating it up every night, traveling, and all the issues that come with being on the road as a musician. I got home from the tour and I was able to get back training again in the gym, and that's when I really noticed things starting to get better, and that was around the 8-month mark. So at the 9-month mark, I went back to CPI for a follow-up. I did some more blood ozone, and I did 40 million more IV stem cells. We did pictures. The doctor looked at all my MRIs. In all honesty, I was hoping to see more improvement, especially with the volume of those 2 degenerated discs. The good news was I had lost some of the fat that was atrophying within the musculature around the vertebrae and facets. I didn't have the fragility that I felt so much. My shoulders at that point felt bulletproof, and we did see some significant improvement. Just the back, still slow going, but definitely some improvements. So I was happy about that. So the big question, here we are 1 year later, did it work? I can say with most certainty, I've noticed a significant improvement in my back. Is it 100%? No. Do I still feel it? Yes. Is it still fragile? Yes, it is fragile. However, I just started actually doing lightweight squats in the gym. I'm on the mountain bike. I'm starting to notice a lot more flexibility now. I don't have any significant pain. I still get little micro tweaks here and there. And the numbness in my foot now, I think when we were at 3 months, I said it was around a 7. Now it ranges from 4 to a 6. Maybe 3 even on a good day. Significant less numbness in my toes. I find that I can twist a lot better. I'm definitely more mobile. I'm not thinking about it 100% of the time like I used to. Would I do it again? Given the technology and the advancements in science, it's probably already evolved a lot since I was there. They're constantly making tweaks. I would absolutely do it all over again if I had to. So right now I'm at 12 months and the injected stem cells are supposed to last 12 months. I'm not sure that I'm going to have any more growth from the stem cells, but I'm able to now train, which now I can start really strengthening that musculature around my spine. I'm looking forward to seeing how the training is going to unfold for me this year. Was it worth it? The expense, the week out of my life to go down there and do it, absolutely. It's not cheap. I'm not going to quote how much I paid because I think that would just confuse a lot of people. Every patient has different injuries and requires a different treatment, so everyone's going to have a different price. That's something you'll have to call CPI and get a quote from them directly. I don't think you can put a price on your quality of life, especially when it comes down to pain. I'm willing to give up whatever I have to in order to feel good. If you're interested in doing stem cell therapy, I would highly recommend you go to CPI, call them, and at least get a quote and talk to them. And I'm not just saying that because I went there. I honestly think they're one of the premier facilities that do stem cells. They're not the most expensive. They're not the cheapest. They were comparatively like somewhere in the middle from all the places that I did check. From the results that I've enjoyed over this past year, I would highly recommend looking into them. Good luck out there. I hope you found this video informative. I hope you feel better. Take care. Thanks again for stopping by, and check out some of my other videos if you want.